This is the time we're going to talk about a new company and when it's required to register for PAYE. That's using payroll in your limited company. There's usually a timeline for a new client or a new close company to use the services to actually register for PAYE. There is usually one or perhaps two shareholders and directors. These usually be related, making it a close company in principle. Depending on the time of year the company was incorporated or started trading or joined our services, it matters whether they had payroll opened to benefit them for tax and or pension requirements. PAYE registration considered payroll. PAYE could be registered almost immediately if there was no employment to date in that tax year for the individuals. PAYE registration would wait until the next financial tax year if the clients had already been employed or continued employment whilst their limited company was incorporated, or had already been self-employed and had tax returns to submit for the tax liability for the current year. Thus, adding payroll wouldn't be tax efficient at such an early stage for the limited company. We have to also think of the CIS deductions and when you want to reclaim those if you're working as a subcontractor in your limited company. It is not as urgent for the activation of PAYE reference number, but if the company is to suffer CIS tax as a subcontractor within a limited company, then before the tax year has completed, the registration would need to be before the 5th of April. And in order to submit that CIS reclaim, the registration would be used. PAYE registration is in some cases one of the services to be activated quite early in the contract year, but depending on the circumstances discussed earlier, may be delayed till nearer the end just to get the registration ready for the reclaim of CIS, Construction Industry Scheme deductions. VAT can also be the thing or a service that we can register quite early for a client. The most common reason for clients to incorporate is turnover and increased profits, and thus protection of profits from increasing tax liabilities. The VAT element of the business is important as the client can be already trading, and thus incorporating the business doesn't let them off a VAT liability, as the business would be considered continuing, and an estimate from its going concern would result in similar trading results. Thus, VAT is necessary quite urgently, as there can be penalties in the late registration. The VAT can be secondary if it's a new business, so the timing will be about when the new business reaches the VAT thresholds.